I'm Jody Melashenko, the Director of Youth and Young Adult Ministries for the Quiet Hour. Now, what a joy it is for us to coordinate the efforts here in Lautoka. We have 60 young people, more than 30 staff that have joined us for this youth mission adventure. We have people from all over the United States and Canada here with us. We even have a couple that are spending their honeymoon here in Fiji with our youth mission adventure project. This multifaceted project includes several much-needed repairs at the Lautoka SDA Primary School. We're also conducting a major evangelistic and medical outreach with dental, medical, and optometry services. The first 2 days of a Youth Missions Adventure project always require a lot of orientation and organization. Many assignments are given to the construction teams, the Vacation Bible School teams, the kitchen crew, the medical and evangelistic teams. For some, it may look like organized chaos. Now, how does one house a group of this size? Well, about half of our group made their homes in Tent City. Each tent was supplied by one of the local members. They erected it, furnished it with their own bedding and pillows and blankets. Many of these locals actually gave up their only bedding to accommodate our group. Sunday morning, the work began. Full bore. There were many projects to be done at the school. A back wall, rotten and leaking, needed to be replaced with cement block. One of the interior bathrooms needed to be demolished and remodeled into a computer lab. Now, when this computer lab is completed, it will be a one-of-a-kind in any of the primary schools in Fiji. The school also needed a paint job. The interior hallway had never been completed, so floor tile was installed. Now, anyone that has installed tile knows the effort required to lay the tile, grout the tile, and seal it. Skylights and fluorescent lighting needed to be installed in this area as well. This required some electrical updating. The roof in the classroom complex also needed repairing. The medical brigade opened its doors on Sunday at 9 a.m. But as early as 6 a.m., hundreds of people were already lined up. Dr. Randy Alloway, a dentist from Northern California, and his wife Nora led out in the dental team. They worked like troopers, many times not finishing until after dark. On several days, they saw more than 100 patients. Now, their clinic was held under the large mango tree right next to one of the Adventist churches. The medical team soon discovered that one of the most important roles that they could play was in lifestyle education. Diet is a major contributor to diabetes and high blood pressure. Fiji is not immune from these diseases. The eye clinic. In all the years we've conducted eye clinics, we've never had such a great demand for glasses. In 4 short days, we gave out over 1,800 pairs of glasses, courtesy of the Lions Club. We ran out of glasses and were unable to conduct an eye clinic during the second half of our project, to our great dismay. A tremendous need exists. Our medical brigade members truly experienced the touch of Jesus as they reached out to the least of these. The medical teams met so many needs. One of the most effective ways of reaching children anywhere is by reaching their children through our Vacation Bible School program, which is one of the best yet. 4 teams at 4 locations, all led out by youth and young adults. So the first night there were about 30 children at each location, but by the 4th and 5th nights there were 100 to 150. Talk about high energy. It was something to behold. And a large percentage of these kids are unchurched. So seeds were planted and lives were changed. Evangelism is a centerpiece of the Quiet Hour. Seek, reap, and keep is our motto. Certainly we saw the seekers and the reapers at work here in Fiji. Each of the 4 locations brought many to the foot of the cross. Pastor Tony Parrish from Norwalk and Jorge Montoya, a layman from Norwalk as well, conducted one of these series of meetings. Clay Perez Garcia and Sean Johnson, 2 young men from Santa Barbara, led out in 2 of the locations. And Talatala Malashenko, yours truly, led out in the location at the Lautoka School.
Adventist, someone who is looking forward to the advent of someone, and in the case of Christianity, Adventists are those who are looking forward to the advent or the coming of who is looking forward.
Some Seventh Adventists will be among that number. Tuwing weekend na so len lutu tuwitu na kuni ni kumkumu the Adventists.
And each one of us, we're going to come up and we're going to introduce ourselves and tell you where we're from, and then we're going to go on with song service, right? So again, I'm Clay from Calvin. Come.
And you know when the flood came, you came all the way. So shall also be the coming of the Son of Man. Brothers and sisters, praying that your flight may not be in the winter, neither on the seventh day. Amen.
We also take this time to welcome our guest.
From this world of sin, washed in the blood of Jesus, I've been born again. Hallelujah.
Midway through the 16-day project, the Quiet Hour team faced a huge challenge. During the afternoon meeting on the second Sabbath that we were there, the local youth were launching a literature distribution outreach in the community when the skies opened up. Even though this is supposed to be the dry part of the year, 4 to 6 inches of rain fell in 2 hours. Tent City was underwater. It was a mess. Mattresses, sheets, pillows, sleeping bags, clothes, soaked. But our Quiet Hour team rallied to the challenge. The locals, all of whom had already given up their mattresses and bedding, went out into the highways and byways all over the city trying to find dry bedding for us. Talk about going the 4th and 5th mile. And sure enough, they were able to sleep on dry beds that night. But it was truly a wet and soggy workplace for the next few days. But we all survived and met the challenge stronger and filled with courage. You know, the Fijian people have a spirit and warmth that is beyond description. So many of our group were just absolutely amazed and deeply moved by their genuine caring and giving spirit. the last weekend in Lautoka, all the area churches met at the Lautoka School for the final celebration. This one-day convocation brought together 700 to 800 people. Right after church, a baptism was held in the nearby Lautoka Indian SDA Church. 54 precious souls were added to the kingdom. 2 of our youth were also baptized. One of these was evangelist Sean Johnson. The other was Jamie from Kansas, who was baptized for the first time.
It would probably be that I'm way less obsessed with stuff. Before I came here, I wanted the new iPod, I wanted the new camera. I really want a phone, and I've been after my mom and dad to get it. But these kids, they're happy with coloring pages and crayons. You give the kids back home coloring pages and crayons, oh great, so what can we do next? It's just totally different.
Oh boy, the Fijian people for sure. Their entire way of life is to live one for another more than for themselves. Last night we got flooded out of our tents, and people that had already given up their homes for people to stay in, and they'd already given up their beds to stay in, for other people to stay in. These people still had these little mattresses, and they even gave those up and slept on the ground, we found out this morning, just so that we could have a comfortable night's sleep. It's pretty hard to see that in North America anymore, and just that kind of love and that kind of compassion for their fellow man is seen through in all aspects of their lives. It's been very touching.
I would say it's life-changing. That we live in a fast-paced world. I go 1,000,000 miles a minute. I work for my church, and I work for my church when I'm not on my job. And just coming here, it just makes you stop and look around at the things that we miss out on. And I don't know, it just seems like we just need to take the time to help somebody else out.
Well, Adam's become a lot more spiritual. I've found that it's a lot easier to pray, talk to God. And the people around here, they're just so nice, and I just want to take some of that hospitality back with me.
Everybody here is so happy, and they're so thankful for everything, and I realize how much I take for granted. America has it really easy. Kids at VBS, they're more mature than a lot of people I know. Just they have so many responsibilities, and they don't think anything of it. They just do it with a smiling face.
If you had a chance to send a message back home to the people about your friends about getting involved in a mission project, how has it changed you personally?
Well, it's made me see what I have back home, and it makes me feel bad because they have nothing and they're happy all the time, and I'm just embarrassed at how they are and how they live. I want to help them more.
Brothers, let us not love with words, but in action and in truth. And to anybody coming to Fiji, I have definitely felt the action through the people, showing their love through action, and I could see how people's wealth, spiritually, and that is something that I always want to take back with me. Because that spiritual, when we're empty and we don't have that spiritual richness inside of us, life isn't worth anything.
These people are just strong morally, spiritually, just strong in every way. They're so kind, and they will just help change your life and mold you to something that you want to become, or you want to be closer to Christ, somewhere around there. I'm sweating for Jesus, like you guys have been telling us all along.
I've never been out of the States, and I don't do much out of Kansas, so things are really different here, and the people are so nice. They give, and then they ask if they can give some more. It seems like they're a lot more in tune with God. You know, they're slower, they're Fijian time, and it just seems like they've got their priorities straight. It's wonderful. I'm hoping to take some of that home. Just if you want to try something different, if you want to see how God wants you to live, go somewhere and do a mission project and learn what the rest of the world lives like. You know, we are a very lucky community in America. You know, we have everything, even when we think we don't. So try something different and see what God has for you.
About your experience here in Fiji and just what's happened to Jorge in the last 2 weeks.
Well, just in such a short time, you know, I've been already having like a deep spiritual experience the weeks leading up to this mission trip. And it's like now I think the Lord has finally, it's in a radical way has just changed me and understanding the whole meaning of sacrifice. Many times our religion, it becomes stagnant because we just fill ourselves with knowledge and we don't put our faith into practice. And I believe that this mission trip is just the beginning in my life of just a series of experiences that I will have, not only here or probably another mission trip, God willing, in the future, but at home, you know, which is the main mission field that we're supposed to be leading out. So it's just been such a wonderful experience, and I believe not only for myself, but for everyone here.
We got a glimpse of heaven in Fiji. We met people who live 24 hours a day, the kind of spiritual, devoted lives that we rarely see here in the United States and Canada. They touched our hearts, and we'll never be the same. To our Fijian friends, to the 90 Quiet Hour Youth Missions Adventure participants, and to our Heavenly Father, we say, Vanaku Bakalevu.
Maria